Hello, lovelies. So, this morning we're going to do a quick tarot read and see what's happening for our day. This is a collective message, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. 22 on the clock as I say that. I don't know if that resonates to anyone. Might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed this morning or today. There's a call for patience. Whenever I shuffle the deck and I don't get a card, that is my signal that there's a call for patience. Now, we might be feeling, I had a dream last night of walking around carrying my head. It wasn't a headless horseman thing, it was a feeling very disconnected thing. So you might be feeling disconnected, overwhelmed, like our bodies are just like on an autopilot and our thinking emotional mind isn't connecting with what we're doing. So let's see what's up with that. We have a 10 of Swords in reverse. We have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, and we have Temperance in reverse. So yes, the 10 of Swords in reverse in this deck, the way the picture represents it, there is this, regardless of whether it's upright or reversed, anxiety is present. Anxiety is kind of at the forefront, right? So there's this anxiety, there's this worry, there's this mental intrusion that is going on. And in one sense, there's this resisting it, being able to resist that pull of just allowing it to be a burden and not questioning, and or this resistance to just feeling defeated, right? On this side, there is more of a release in the open hand, where he's just feeling like there's less resistance to the thoughts. There's more of a dwelling in them, and there's more of a being lost in them. Whereas in the reverse sense, the anxiety and thoughts are still there, but we seem to be standing against it or pushing against it. And even the head turned is allowing this, there's a different perspective being taken on the 10 of Swords in reverse. Now, in relation to feeling overwhelmed, disconnected, it's as if you're aware of this, something isn't plugged in properly, and yet also seeing that what you are doing in your life, whether it's drinking more water, having better communication, listening more, whatever skill set or whatever that you're working through, relationships or whatnot, it's still 333 on the clock when I'm about to say this. There's your body is an autopilot, because logically that these are all good things for you, that it's the things you would be doing if once you are in the place you're aiming to go. But the lack of results and the fact that it's something that might have been easy that has become really difficult. And this is where these swords come in. This is where that anxiety, that pressure, that feeling of just being limited and repetitive and being disconnected comes in. Now, when we look at the 9 of Pentacles in reverse and Temperance in reverse, this is where they're leaning to. There's a sense of lack of control. There's a sense of lack of autonomy, lack of independence. This could be because you have to rely on, a loan to start your business, or to go to school and take classes, or on a partner for their help. There's this sense of having to lean on someone else or something else, and it's creating this restlessness and this scattered feeling of just the 9 of Pentacles on upside right is she's autonomous. She's able to control and see her abundance around her. She's coming to completion of her physical expression in the real world, where this is not gender specific, just FYI. But she's got this sense of having arrived or is arriving. Whereas in the reverse sense, it just seems like all of these coins have been scattered on the floor, and instead of taking this last bit of leaning over to pick them up, the character in this sense is saying, no, I don't want to do anymore. I don't want to, or I'd rather be doing something different. The masculine figure here is that energy of action, whereas here this is receiving. So in this sense, the character does pull more towards a feminine energy, which is just sit and receive. This energy wants to act and provide. And this card is just, because of all the anxieties that you're feeling and all that stress and pressure and that disconnect, it's disconnecting you from being able to feel that autonomous self. And this is because we are untempered, if you will. Temperance is coming in reverse to say we're not giving and receiving, right? The idea here is to allow things to be released and then allow new things to come in. But when we are fighting that, when we are impatient with that, it causes the imbalance. It causes just that inability to maintain that poise is the word I'm getting. Poise in, and there's this image coming to mind now where we're just standing watching the things happening. And that's okay. There's not so much more to do in this phase. You're changing your habits, you're doing all the right things. You're not seeing the results yet, but your nervous system, your environment has to catch up now. You've been living in a phase, potentially, up until this point where it was always just trying to catch up physically to your surroundings, your environment, your relationships, your whatever it is. And so now that you're getting ahead of it by preparing yourself first and not trying to find completion through others, but you're preparing yourself and completing yourself, there's this need for you now to stand still and allow it to happen. Allow in your actions, continuing what you're doing, how you've been doing, to just be patient with it. And to not, there's also that give and take of, sure, you may have, had lost weight a long time ago or a while ago, gained it back, and now you have to restart, and that's frustrating. Or the last relationship you got into, you both had the conversation, this is where you're headed, this is where you're going, and all of a sudden that changed and you're no longer in that. Or this job that you thought would be where you would retire and suddenly you got fired. It's all of these pieces of feeling like you're starting back from the starting point. But I heard recently there's the idea of two steps back to take one step forward, two steps back. It's that moment when the one step forward is leaning over the edge to gauge the distance that you need to jump ahead. But in order to jump ahead, you have to get momentum. So you have to take two steps back, give yourself a second, and then go. And this is that space that we're in right now. This idea of having to allow for all the pieces to come together, to take those two steps back, not to rush it. You're not going to be seeing your physical reality right now what you're working toward. You have to trust and teach your body to trust you in being able to continue this process. Because up until this point, that might not have been the case. It might not have been where you were able to maintain that type of pattern for very long. And so your own body, as its own autonomous ecosystem, doesn't trust it. You have to teach yourself to trust yourself as well. We are our worst critics. And so if we need more details on this individually, please do reach out and let me know. Otherwise, please have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day, and we will see you in the next one.